I'm tired of being the Black guy who has to call bullshit on the race narrative that's being foisted on the country by the hustlers and the charlatans and the ambulance chasers and the rabble rousers and the would-be faux radicals and the anti-white, anti-American, race-obsessed quarter of the commentariat. I'm tired of that. I want race to be over and I don't want race to be over. It's one thing I've been thinking about, especially as I was preparing for this conversation. You and I have been talking since 2007, off and on early, but then got regularized. And here we are many years down the road. And we used to be the Black guys. Remember the Black guys at bloggingheads.tv, Robert Wright's venerable platform, which gave me my start here at the Glenn Show. We were the Black guys. And the issue of race and the character of the political discussion about race and racial issues is constantly changing. I thought we might reflect a little bit on where we are now, how things are different than they were some years ago, and what the future holds. I mean, are we ghettoized, you and I, John, as the Black guys, or should we be diversifying our portfolio of topical interests, anticipating the waning of this race obsession that has characterized at least one corner of American culture?
Glenn, John, yes, please keep on doing this. Please talking about these complicated, difficult, uncomfortable topics. It's yeoman's work, and there are very few people willing to do it with some level of objectivity, with a goal of actually being truthful, right? Kind of working the way through the jungle of distortion, exaggeration, misrepresentation, and sometimes just outright lies, to get to the nub of what most reasonable people can agree on as fact. It appears to be this way. And the level of analysis and intellect that you two bring, as well as good spirit, is really important. You have inspired me. I remember watching you guys on Blog Talk, and you were a fresh breath for me. There was really no one else at that time, based on my exposure and my viewing habits on YouTube. There was no one else who was really occupying the corner that you guys were. Ostensibly a conservative and a liberal-ish, right? Hashing it out over the differences in those two perspectives, but through a Black lens. And then more broadly, just outside of politics, just, racial politics, the addressing one of the most pressing struggles that we have in this country. Much of it unnecessary, in my opinion. Much of it overblown, overwrought. But here we are. And it has to be talked about. None of this is going to go away on its own. I know that Morgan Freeman, I watched an interview with him saying, how do you get rid of racism? He said, just stop talking about it. As many things, there's something to be said for that, and there's also the exact opposite of that. No, we can't stop talking about it. We need to talk about it more, and we need not only more Black voices like yours. I think we need more Black voices in conversation with white voices on these topics. So, yes, you've inspired me. I have on my heart a pressing desire to step into this arena of racial politics. I don't want to. It's nasty work. In spite of a life that I feel has honored my commitment to the Black community in word and deed, I will be torn. People will try to tear me apart, even with the best of my intentions. But it's important work. And your courage and you carrying the torch that you have, I took a light off of your torch. Others have taken a light off of your torch. I think that Coleman Hughes has taken a light off your torch. I remember a conversation, John, that you and maybe Coleman recalled about a chance meeting in the bathroom and at Columbia, and him mentioning, maybe not in that specific moment, but him mentioning the impact that that your writing and thinking had on him. To see where Coleman has taken that spark and turned it into a blazing torch of his own. That's part of that credit goes to you, in my opinion. And I hope that there are many others who will take a light from your torch. I expect there will be. But you got to keep on holding the torch up. And I know it's a pain in the ass. And I know there are a lot of other things you would prefer to talk about and can talk about, extensively. But I don't know if there's anything more important to talk about. So I hope you'll just keep on doing that. I got your back. And I appreciate you. Thank you both for what you do. Peace.